Hello, and welcome to the 5th Positive Notes video. This video will be on dynamics. What are dynamics? Dynamics are the volume you are playing your instrument, whether you are playing loud or soft. I talked about this a little in my last video about bowing, but now I will discuss the different symbols for dynamics and some more intricacies with it. So let's start with the two simplest dynamics, forte and piano. Forte is Italian for strong, and the concept of music, it usually means loud. On the other hand, piano for music is quiet. Therefore, if you see a P beneath the notes on your music, make sure to play quiet, and if you see an F, play louder. So I will now review how we will use our bow to achieve these different dynamics. So for forte music, you're going to want to move your bow quickly, have more pressure down on the string, and you want to have your bow right in between the fingerboard and the bridge, or even a little closer to the bridge. By doing this, you will get a nice, louder sound. Yay! Okay, now piano. To play music quieter, you will do the opposite of forte. You're gonna move your bow a little slower, not super slow. You can still have it fast and make a nice sound and be piano, but usually you will move your bow slower when you're piano. Additionally, you want to have less pressure, and while it still is good to be right in between the fingerboard and the bridge, you can move your bow up, and some special cases you may even go over the fingerboard. However, don't usually play over the fingerboard. There are different specifications in the music that will tell you when to do this. So, as an example, a slow, less pressure will produce a quieter sound. Another important note is bow placement. If you're playing a long passage in a piece where you're forte, you'll want to be closer to the frog or the end of the bow where your hand is. When you're closer to the frog, it is easier to have higher pressure and play louder. On the other hand, when you're closer to the tip, it is harder to apply pressure, so you will play quieter, and it is better to play piano when in the upper half of the bow. Now that we've discussed that, let's go into some of the other symbols for dynamics. In between the dynamics of piano and forte are mezzo piano and mezzo forte. Mezzo in Italian means half, so it's like half piano or half forte. You're still louder than a normal volume, but it's not quite as loud as forte or as quiet as piano. Therefore, you don't have to have quite as much of the changes in bowing that I specified with forte and piano when playing mezzo forte or mezzo piano. When I say mezzo piano and mezzo forte are slightly louder than a normal volume, you have to remember that dynamics are relative. In different pieces, piano and forte can mean different things. However, the general gist of forte and piano is quiet and loud. The exact degree will be specified by how you want your piece to sound. Now I will go into the extremes. What if you want it really loud or very quiet? To do this, you will see multiple Fs or multiple Ps on your piece. If you see two Fs, it's called fortissimo, and it's very loud. Two Ps is pianissimo, or very quiet. You can even see more than two Ps or two Fs. Sometimes you can see 3, 4, even 5. To say those ones, you just add more Cs. Fortissimo, pianissimo. If you see 4 Fs, it'll be fortissimo. However, after 3 fortes or 3 pianos, the dynamics become much rarer. The most important ones to know are pianissimo to fortissimo. Now it's great that we know how to play these different dynamics, but now I'm going to talk about how we go through those dynamics. Sometimes we make a quick change from forte to piano, or vice versa, but more often we do what are called decrescendos and crescendos. These are gradual changes in music. The first symbol that is appearing on the screen now is the crescendo. As you can see, it starts small, then gets big. In other words, the crescendo goes from quiet to loud. Some tips when playing crescendo is often it's easier to play a crescendo on an up bow. As I said before, when you're farther out from the frog of the bow, you often are playing quieter because it's harder to apply pressure. However, when you're playing closer, it's easier to play loud. Therefore, the up bow is usually best for a crescendo because it makes it easiest to increase pressure and volume. Next is the decrescendo or diminuendo. As you can see, the decrescendo is written as starting big and then ending small. Often it's easier to do a down bow for a decrescendo for the same reasons that it's easier to do an up bow for a crescendo. Thank you for watching, and in our next video we will go into articulation.